Welcome to the Heist Files. Some robberies steal money, some steal secrets, and some are so unbelievable that they rewrite history. Tonight, we're opening the case file of a cyber heist that shook the financial world, a mystery involving billions of dollars, invisible hackers, hidden conspiracies, and a truth more dangerous than anyone imagined. Lock the doors, put on your headphones, and follow every clue carefully. Because once this file is opened, there's no turning back. This is the Heist Files. It started like any other quiet Thursday night in the financial district. Rain slid down the glass towers, neon lights blurred across wet streets, and inside the towering headquarters of Global Reserve Trust Bank, the servers hummed like they always did, steady, secure, untouchable. At least, that's what everyone believed. In the 47th floor security room, analyst Daniel Cruz leaned back in his chair, sipping cold coffee while watching green lines crawl across multiple screens. Thousands of transactions were processed every second. Millions moved across continents in seconds. Everything looked normal, until it didn't. At exactly 2:14 a.m., a single alert blinked red. Unauthorized internal route detected. Daniel frowned. Internal, he muttered. That wasn't supposed to happen. Internal routes meant someone was already inside the system. He zoomed in. A transfer request had been initiated from a restricted core vault node, a node that required triple biometric clearance and physical authorization from 2 senior directors. But the system showed something impossible. Both approvals were already verified. Daniel straightened in his chair. That's not possible. He called his supervisor. No answer. He tried emergency shutdown protocols. Locked. And then the second alert hit. Funds transfer initiated. $250 million. Daniel's heartbeat spiked. Okay, stop. He clicked rapidly. But the system wasn't responding like normal. It wasn't freezing or crashing. It was executing, as if something else had taken control. Within 90 seconds, the number jumped again. $250 million, $900 million, $2.1 billion. Daniel stood up so fast his chair rolled backward. Someone is draining the core vault. He ran toward the glass wall and looked down at the city below, as if answers were hiding somewhere in the traffic lights and empty streets. Behind him, the system chimed again. A new message appeared on screen. You are watching, not stopping. Daniel froze. That's not a system message, he whispered. Across the city, in a small underground cyber cafe that officially didn't exist on any map, a hooded figure sat alone. Multiple laptops. No branding. No lights except the glow of encrypted terminals. The figure's name, unknown to the world, was whispered in dark corners of cybersecurity forums only as Oracle. Oracle wasn't typing fast. There was no panic, only precision. On the screen, layers of banking architecture unfolded like a digital blueprint. Firewalls, quantum encryption locks, air-gapped vault protocols. And yet, one by one, they were opening, not breaking, being invited open. Oracle spoke quietly into a headset. Phase 1 is complete. A second voice replied through static. Confirmation. Oracle stared at the screen as the number climbed past $3.5 billion. It's already inside, Oracle said. They just haven't realized they handed me the keys. Back at Global Reserve Trust Bank, alarms finally erupted. Red lights flooded the security room. Daniel was no longer alone. Technicians rushed in, shouting over each other. Server breach confirmed. No external intrusion signature. Routing is coming from inside our own authentication loop. The head of cybersecurity arrived, breathless. How much has been moved? Daniel hesitated. Then he said it. 5 billion. Silence hit the room like a physical force. Stop it, the director barked. Cut the network. We can't. Another technician replied. The system is bypassing manual overrides. That's impossible. Daniel turned slowly. Unless someone built a second system inside ours. Everyone went quiet again. A digital ghost inside the machine. And then, a final transfer window opened. $1 billion pending. The director grabbed the console. Trace the origin. Lines of code streamed. Location, unknown. Device, unknown. access, validated from all authorities. The system itself was lying. Or worse, it wasn't lying. It had been rewritten. In the cyber cafe, Oracle finally leaned back. The last transfer was hanging, waiting for final confirmation. A small pause. A single moment where the entire global banking network seemed to hold its breath. Oracle's finger hovered over the keyboard, then stopped. A voice came through the headset again. "You're hesitating." Oracle didn't answer immediately. Instead, they looked at a small photo taped beside the monitor. A hospital room, a child hooked to machines. Then Oracle whispered, "I don't want the money." Silence on the other end. "I want what they took." A pause. Then finish it." Oracle's eyes hardened. One final command. "Enter." Back at the bank, Daniel watched the final alert appear. Transfer complete. Total moved, $6 billion. The room erupted in chaos. But Daniel wasn't moving. He stared at the screen where one final line appeared. This was never a robbery. It was a message. Then everything went dark. All servers, all backups, all logs, gone. As if the bank had never existed in digital space at all. Outside, rain kept falling over the city. But somewhere in the noise of collapsing systems and emergency sirens, Daniel realized something chilling. This wasn't just about stolen money. It was a demonstration. Someone had just shown the world a terrifying truth. If they wanted to, they could walk through every digital wall on Earth, and no one would even see them arrive. And deep in the unseen network, Oracle's final line appeared on a blank screen. The next heist won't need permission either. The sun had barely risen, but the world's financial markets were already in chaos. News channels interrupted their regular programming. Breaking news: a record-breaking cyber heist has targeted Global Reserve Trust Bank. No one knew who was responsible. No one knew where the money had gone. And the most frightening part, no one knew how it had happened. Emergency meetings were held across the globe. Government officials, intelligence agencies, cybersecurity experts, and banking executives gathered behind closed doors. One question echoed through every room. Who is Oracle? The name had never appeared in any criminal database. No fingerprints, no face, no known nationality, nothing. It was as if the hacker had never existed. Daniel Cruz hadn't slept for more than 24 hours. He replayed every second of the attack, every alert, every line of code, every strange message. Something kept bothering him. Oracle hadn't tried to hide. The hacker had wanted someone to notice something. Daniel reopened the security logs that investigators believed were completely erased. Almost everything was gone, except for one corrupted file. Most people ignored it. Daniel didn't. After hours of rebuilding damaged data, a single frame appeared. Just 3 seconds of hidden footage. It showed a maintenance worker entering the bank's server room 6 months before the heist. The worker scanned a badge. The door opened. Then the camera suddenly glitched. 3 seconds later, the worker disappeared. No exit. No explanation. Almost as if someone had erased him from history. Daniel zoomed in on the blurry image. The worker's uniform looked ordinary. But one detail stood out. A silver wristwatch. On the back of the watch was a tiny symbol. A black raven. Daniel searched every employee database. Nothing. No maintenance worker matched the face. The employee ID didn't exist. Someone had planted a ghost inside the bank months before the robbery. Meanwhile, thousands of miles away, a private jet landed on an isolated runway. A man in an expensive black suit stepped onto the tarmac. No lagi, no security, only a single encrypted phone. His name wasn't listed on any passenger manifest. People in intelligence circles knew him only as Mr. Vale. The phone vibrated. A message appeared. Mission complete. Valis milid. Then typed only 2 words. Phase 2. Elsewhere, Oracle sat alone in the same underground room. Every news channel called the hacker a criminal, a terrorist, a genius. Oracle ignored them all. Instead, another encrypted file opened. It contained hundreds of confidential bank records, hidden accounts, illegal transfers, bribes, money laundering, corruption stretching back decades. Oracle whispered quietly, You stole from millions and called it business. The $6 billion had never been moved into a personal account. Instead, it had been divided into thousands of encrypted digital vaults spread across dozens of countries. Almost impossible to trace. Almost impossible to recover. Back inside Global Reserve Trust Bank, investigators made a disturbing discovery. The heist hadn't started the night before. It had started 7 years earlier. Tiny pieces of malicious code had been quietly inserted during routine software updates. Each piece was harmless by itself, invisible, patient, waiting. Year after year, the hidden program slowly learned every password, every employee, every security habit, until one night, it knew the bank better than the people who owned it. Daniel stared at the evidence in disbelief. This wasn't just hacking. This was the longest con ever built. Suddenly, his computer beeped. A brand new message appeared. No sender. No email address. Just one sentence. You're asking the right questions. Daniel froze. Another line appeared. Stop looking for the money. Then, a final message. Start looking for the people who wanted it to disappear. The screen went black. Daniel realized something terrifying. Oracle wasn't running away. Oracle was watching him. And somewhere in the shadows, the real mastermind behind the $6 billion heist had just made their next move. 3 days after the world's largest digital robbery, governments believed they were chasing a hacker. They were wrong. Daniel Cruz couldn't stop thinking about Oracle's final message. Stop looking for the money. Start looking for the people who wanted it to disappear. The words changed everything. Instead of tracing the stolen billions, Daniel began investigating the bank itself. The deeper he dug, the darker the truth became. Hidden behind layers of shell companies and secret accounts was a network of illegal transactions stretching back years. The bank had quietly helped powerful criminals, corrupt officials, and international money launderers move billions across the world while appearing completely legitimate. The missing $6 billion wasn't ordinary customer money. It was money that was never supposed to exist on the bank's books. If investigators found it, some of the world's most powerful people would be exposed. Suddenly, the heist no longer looked like a robbery. It looked like someone had ripped the mask off a global criminal network. Daniel secretly contacted an international financial crime task force. Together, they followed Oracle's hidden clues. One by one, secret accounts were frozen. Private servers were seized. Confidential documents were recovered before they could be destroyed. Executives who had once seemed untouchable resigned overnight. Some disappeared. Others were arrested. Every new discovery revealed an even larger web of corruption. Meanwhile, Mr. Vale watched the news from a secluded villa. His organization was falling apart. Years of carefully hidden secrets were being uncovered. He realized Oracle had never intended to keep the money. The entire operation had been designed to expose everyone connected to it. For the first time in years, Mr. Vale looked afraid. He destroyed phones, hard drives, and documents before slipping away into the night. His whereabouts were never confirmed again. Days later, Daniel received one final encrypted message. It contained nothing except a digital key. Using it, investigators unlocked thousands of hidden financial records. The stolen billions were traced, frozen, and gradually recovered through international cooperation. Most of the funds were returned to the institutions that had lost them, while evidence from the operation fueled years of criminal investigations. At the bottom of the message was a final note. The money was never the prize. The truth was. Daniel looked around the empty office. For the first time since the attack, he smiled. Oracle had vanished without leaving a name, a face, or a location. Only the truth remained. Months later, Global Reserve Trust Bank had new leadership, stronger security, and complete transparency. The scandal became a warning taught in cybersecurity and financial crime investigations around the world. Experts agreed on one lesson. The greatest threat wasn't always a hacker outside the system. Sometimes, it was the corruption hidden inside it. Late one evening, Daniel closed his laptop and prepared to leave. Just before the screen went dark, a single notification appeared. No sender. No subject. Only 6 words. Some vaults are still waiting to open. Daniel looked out at the city lights. Somewhere, Oracle was still out there, watching, waiting, and another mystery had already begun. And with that, this case file is officially closed for now. But in the world of hidden vaults, master thieves, cyber conspiracies, and unsolved mysteries, every ending is just the beginning of another investigation. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, subscribe, and join us for the next file. Until then, stay curious, trust no one, and remember, every heist leaves a clue. This is the Heist Files.